Okay guys, we're picking out with part 2 of this project. As I showed before in the previous video, we got up to this sequence, at least a raw cut of it, so we can start to build. Okay, so we're jumping on to this part here. And go ahead and just let's play the sequence and let's see what we have to do. This is some temp music. Let me just cut this out. So he's smoking a cigarette. The door in the back closes. Turns around to see what happened. He says shit. So we're gonna have to get audio of that. It's recorded. Takes a puff of the cigarette, and then we're gonna cut to compositing shot here of his doppelganger walking by. It's the name of the film, Doppelganger. Okay, so as I said before, we are not doing a full audio kind of cut yet. We're kind of just trying to add dialogue and cuts for now. So what I want to do now is try to find an additional cut here of this door closing. Maybe even prior to, he's got the door propped open with a book here. So let's go ahead and find that shot. Usually if there's a lot of bins open, there's a lot of folders. You can see like it's never endless. Usually if you just right click and go to reveal in project, it'll take you right to where this clip is. But again, this was shot out of order. It's a film. So I can see right here is the shots that we were looking for. And let's see here. It's pretty good. Oh, it falls. But how about this? Let's look at the next shot right over. This is the previous one. What I usually have to do here is go by name, because the epic does shoot in order of numbers from lower to higher. So let's see what 15 is. I think this was a good shot here. Again, if you're actually editing a film that's not yours, what you would have to do is go through each individual clip, make a new sequence of the scene you're working on, and do it like that. Otherwise you'd go crazy. But I did shoot this film, I did direct this film, so I do know the ins and outs and where everything is and what we do have. I think that's me up there. Okay. I don't know why I'm closing the book. Alright, so this is the end shot where the door closes, right? So the book falls out and the door closes. So it's not what we wanted, but we know we need it, so I found it. So I'm going to go ahead and just push I here. And I don't need audio because, like I said before, all these clips are not synced. They don't have any audio. All the audio is externally recorded. So I'm going to go ahead and just highlight this is for video. So I'm just going to keep bringing the video here. And I'm going to scroll ahead. He lights his cigarette and the door closes here. So let's see how this looks. So it kind of looks odd, like. So let's try to trim this, and we have to get a different clip. Okay, so what we want to do is we have to move everything over. We can try to sync it here, so when door closes, see the shot of the door closing is there, so what I usually do is get the end of it and then the door closing there, so his reaction time is kind of late too, so we might have to push it just a little bit over. See how the cut now matches. So now we want to go ahead and see him put the book in, or at least something of the door. But that looked pretty good to me. So I'm going to find more shots again here. I would go like this, I would go to revealing project. And then we know it's here. I'm going to do this again. Name. There's a wide shot here of the professor leaving. Oh, I like this how the book closes. Oh, that's better. Let's use this. And see, when you're editing, you kind of just, when you see something better, you have to at least see how it looks. So I'm just going to cover it there. So it looks a little bit awkward, so let's just see if we can smooth it out here. Book falls, door closes. He turns. Okay, the turn is a little bit early, so let's see it one more time before we decide to delete the other clip. This kind of reaction time is going to be there. So let's just move this aside. So again, I line up the ends with the ends. Boom, door closes. A little bit late. Door closes. Reaction. Nope. Door closes there and reaction. So it might look weird now with this wide shot, but the reason I'm doing it is because I know if we can get a close-up shot of him putting the book in, this will kind of neatly reveal what just happened. The book falling out. So I'm going to look at this clip again to see what we have. So maybe we can just see if we can just add this in here. Oh, looks awkward. Okay. 15. Go by name here. Do you have a 16? We have a 16. No, we don't. So we have the choices between 13, 14, and 15, unfortunately. Well, this could work. Oh. So we're just going to have to use 14. So what I would do is try to use the ends of this and just, boom, before this book kind of falls. I would cut it right here. So put the O there, drag it in to the beginning here. So no. You know, sometimes you now I'm thinking maybe we don't even need, obviously this is the wrong clip. We don't even need the shot of the book going in. But as you can see here, I'm guessing here is the rest of the sequence before, because we recorded him fully coming out. So if we really wanted to push this in, what I would do is extend everything. So I would zoom out here, zoom out, and then we this where we can highlight everything on this side of the timeline. So press V and we're going to drag it out here. So nothing's really changing, and yet it's up here or back here. Just creating a gap, which we can close later anytime we want. So let's extend this out. Let's see how this looks if we just... Okay, so there's the book going in. Gotta get rid of this sound because this is the sound of the door closing. So let's try to string scene 1 and scene 2 together here. So the professor's opening the door there. Let's see if we can, sneak into this scene a little bit here. This is the door opening, right? So usually you would push the door, so the hit should be when a little bit, just kind of latch it up here. So I like this of how he closes it. What I can do is kind of extend this out. I'll kind of cut from here because I do like the end scene here where this student clips his bag on the chair. That used to happen to me, so I do want to keep that in because I think that's genuine. So this should give the doctor enough time, the professor to, you see here, this is kind of, the book is, if he puts the book in here and he's walking out, we might want to clip this to kind of start where he's already taken his cigarette out. We can start from here. So what we do is cut it up to here, and let's see how this looks. I'm just going to close the gap here. Again, we're making a visual edit, since this next scene doesn't really have dialogue. So I definitely have to move that again. So I'm just going to wait here till the door closes. So now what I tried to do is when you can actually see the door close in the frame, and then kind of the book falls, the door closes again. So I want to make his reaction time just a little bit. I like that. So later on we're going to add the sound effect of the door closing and all that, which is really going to add to it. So now the audience clearly sees that he's come out, he's put a book in, he's lighting his cigarette up, and the book falls and he's locked out. Which ties into the next scene of why he has to go around into the hallway and back to the other entrance, which is further on in the film here. I'll give you guys a sneak peek. So he's having another kind of dialogue scene here with the other actress, so that has to be tied in. Okay, let's go ahead and look at this one more time.
Slot on my prof time sheet, okay? And we can share the question room.
So I'd kind of just leave it like this. Actually, that shot does seem a little overexposed to me, but we're going to let it slide just for now. Actually, the shot is actually, we shot at 320 ISO, so I'll go ahead and put this back. That's why it seems overexposed, because I enhanced it prior to this video to see how bright a 500 ISO. So you guys know that, may not know that the red does shoot at a raw file, so that means is that we can control a lot of the settings here. So yeah, see, the ISO is actually supposed to be at 320 here. You can see it's much easier in the eyes. And the reason I had this is because when he sparks up the cigarette here, the lighting is just beautiful. Yeah. So it's worth it. And again, this is a film. This is not a music video or a commercial where you want everything perfectly lit. I did go with a neo-film noir style here, so this exposure is much better. So even the cut back to these students, as much as I wanted to keep this shot, it looks like I'm gonna have to let it go. Let's see how this looks. Because I don't want to cut back to the classroom once we're out. Okay, so I can still use it. Some of it. Yeah. So let's use some of that, because he should be out the door by now. You know, editing is a lot about pacing and really thinking logically. Like, for example, if he's leaving the room here, he's opened the door. He should be well out the door and ready to put the book in by the time we come back here. So you kind of have to imagine what he's doing at the same time, and when so when you come back to him, the timing is very as fluid as it can be. So we have the shot duplicate here. So what I'm going to do is delete that, bring this down, close the gap here. So this is the same shot, so we're just going to leave this going. And when he's looking out, we do want to add some shots of B-roll we could have here. I know I do have a shot right here, so what I'm going to do is find this clip here. Let's see if I can use clip that I didn't use. People just walking, so yeah, maybe we can add this in here, because it is a long gap of him coming out and taking out his cigarettes. He's got his things, he puts his things down. He's not really in this shot, so it will be hard to use this. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to either try to shoot some B-roll later, or try to work with what we have. I know there's wide shots here of the actual school. We shot in the University of Toronto. Yeah, it looks like we're not going to have any B-roll to add in here. It's coming out. You see we have somebody walking by here, so we want to add the like a kind of ghostly sound effect here. They have the shadow going by. give the audience a heads up that something's happening. So it does take him a really long time to light his cigarette, so this is going to be a problem here that we're going to have to fix. I'm wondering if we can somehow, this whole looking around is, this here we can use from here to here, but this part seems like a big waste. So we're going to see if we can find maybe a close-up where we can cut to. We might have to go back to that close-up of the book going in to so we can shorten this scene down. So if I insert that book scene here, I can cut this out, and then we won't be bored of him trying to take out his cigarettes taking so long. Now we just got to think of how we're going to kind of shorten this down. Because that's the lighting I have the shot for. Okay, so let's go and see if we can have a shot of outside, maybe a close up here that we can use, maybe not the book going in necessarily. So this is the clip that we used. See if there's something here. If we can cut to the door at this closing. We got here, and then we can maybe cut to him coming out. Yeah, he does come out. No, that's a different shot. That's the combusting shot. Okay, let's check disc 6 for this. Beginning of disc 6, no. Okay, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go back inside, because there's nothing else. So what I can do to shorten this, the only clip I have to replace this with is this. Let's see if we can go. Let's try to cut this clip in half. Let's tease into it over here.
Okay, and we can shoot the question. And we can shoot the question in.
That's good. So he's walking out. This is the door scene. Okay, so let's gotta get that door opening. So let's try to bring this door opening over here. So what we can do is show a shot of the empty auditorium here. That does symbolize a close. And we can come back to him smoking. Oh. Again, film is a visual medium as well as audio. Don't get me wrong, audio is, I would say, more important in independent films, but what you want to do is get a visual cut, a visual language of what's going on. So even here, if we're cutting back inside, he should be already out and smoking his cigarette, so we can get rid of all this. And see, we've killed the gap of him taking out a cigarette. Unfortunately, we would, if we had more time and a bigger budget, I would spend the time on each scene to make sure we have the coverage. But as an editor, I know what I need to get when I'm shooting, and as a director, I know what I need to edit. So you see, it's much smoother now. Book falls, door closes. We want to bring that in a little bit. It feels a little wrong. Book closes. Yeah, we want to see the turn. Because the noise, it's the noise that's going to make the turn go. So when the book falls, there's no real noise. Like a light noise, and then, yeah. Okay guys, so as you can see, we started from this scene in the previous video, so we came to this scene. What we had to do here is cut down the cigarette smoking scene because it was long, and we needed to show the book falling. So before we started, if you go to the beginning view, nothing was here. So we brought in the shot of him opening the door, putting the book in, cut back to the empty classroom. Now he's out having a cigarette, which he doesn't take the extra time to take it out. He lights it. We get our good lighting shot at that point. Book closes, door closes, reaction, comes back out, has a cigarette. Okay guys, so the next scene we're going to do is continue on from here. We're slowly getting there. As you see, the movie's probably around 15 minutes. Hopefully around 13 actual video. So we're at 2 minutes and 45 seconds.